Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we will be talking about some Beast Wars on the channel. Hell to the yeah, man. I love me some Beast Wars. But specifically, Japanese Beast Wars. The successor to Beast Wars 2. This is Beast Wars Neo. And there are some wacky characters, designs, lore in this series, but I'm just going to be talking about the toy line here. This was a toy line that I low-key preferred over Beast Wars 2. I'm going to do a separate video talking about Beast Wars 2 at some point down the line on the channel. But just something about Big Convoy and Long Rack and Magmatron, it just kind of always captured me a bit more than some of the characters we saw in Beast Wars 2. But I'm going to go through this toy line and give you guys my thoughts on, you know, some of these figures, or basically the whole toy line. So let's start out with basic class here. Bazooka. I mean, this is like some weird, what animal is this? It's like, what is this animal called? But it is a cool design. It's like one of those dragon things. I think, is it one of those Komodo dragon? I don't know. I'm not even going to try. But he has a really cool color scheme. And the robot mode is even wackier. Just, I love these wacky designs, man. Break is one of the coolest new molds from Beast Wars Neo. I know some people give him flack because his robot mode has a good amount of kibble hanging off of him, but I think the design is super unique. It makes for a fun looking figure, especially if you do photography, and to a lesser extent stop motion, but it can be fun too with that. And you know, the penguin mode is super cute and unique and just cool, you know, as a Transformers figure. I love Break. And then Bump, he's cool. I think he's a repaint or maybe even a retool of was it Ironhide or was it Armadillo or something like that from the American Beast Wars? But he's cool. Wasn't really one of my favorite basic classes, but he was a really nice design, and the removable leg weapons were always fun to me. And then Crazy Bolt, I'm pretty sure he's a repaint of Iguanus from the US side of things. And I love the Iguanus mold, so I do like Crazy Bolt, but I do prefer the color scheme on Iguanus, so that does kind of bring Crazy Bolt down for me a little bit. Dead End, another one of those new mold Neo figures that I think is so cool and unique, especially in robot mode. Like, he turns into is it an octopus or a squid? I can't remember, but he's obviously one of those. It's just so unique in both modes. I almost said molds, but especially in the robot mode, the way the head splits apart into those two big things on his body, it is just so sick. And then Hydra, an obvious repaint of Pterosaur. Was never really crazy about the basic class Pterosaur figure, so this one's okay, but nothing really too spectacular to me. And then we have Randy, who is a repaint of Razor Beast from the US side of things. And he's cool. I do like Razor Beast, but you know, it's just something about his design and kibble nature that wasn't always really the coolest looking to me. But I think this figure also has GPS. I could be wrong on that, but he looks like he does. But I don't know for sure. Decent figure. I do prefer the look and the colors of Razor Beast a bit more. And then we have Rockbuster, who I'm pretty sure is a US repaint as well. He's cool. Was never really one of my favorites, but he is a design, probably the US version, that I would want to track down at some point for my Beast Wars collection. And then there's Sling, who is cool. I do like the dinosaur mode they picked for him, or the reptile mode, I can't remember, but he's alright. His robot mode design just never really struck me. Just something about it was never really one of my favorites. But Stampy, this dude Stampy is a classic. You ask a 13-year-old Transformers fan, they know who Stampy is. This dude is awesome. Funny thing with him is he kind of grew on me. He wasn't really one of my favorites to begin with, but as the years went on, the last like 5 years since I've been really delving deep into Beast Wars and the Japanese side of Transformers, he really did become one of my favorites from Beast Wars Neo. Like, he is just so charming in both modes. I love it. Now, heading into Deluxe class, we have Arcadus or Aractus or something like that. I can't remember if I had this figure or not. I might have had the Universe or the Beast Machines repaint. I'm not sure. But he's cool. I never really thought he was amazing, but he does seem like at least a decent figure in my opinion. But Karada, this dude is freaking amazing looking. I do want to get him at some point down the line for my Beast Wars collection. He is so cool. The way they make the Cobra mode turn into the robot mode, and they give him the poncho and the hat, you know, that Western style look for his robot mode. It is just genius how they manage the snake mode and then turning into the robot mode and managing that kibble in a way that actually makes his design really stand out and frankly look pretty badass in my opinion. And then we have Drankron or something like that. Never really paid attention to this guy too much because I don't know, his design wasn't really something I was always fond of. Maybe it'll grow on me at some point down the line if as I get older, but I don't know, he's just not really one of my favorites right now. Alpha Orpha or something like that. I forgot how to pronounce this character's name. There's a lot of weird names in Japanese Beast Wars and just Japanese Transformers as a whole. But this one is cool. I do think the design is nice, but never really something that I really wanted to desperately track down. Maybe at some point I'll get it for my collection, but not too shabby. And then we have Gilladart, which I think I had either the Beast Machines or the Universe repaint of this guy. He's cool. I do like him. Just something about his bruiser, stumpy nature in robot mode and all the weaponry he has just really kind of drew me to the character, especially with his robot mode. Kind of reminds me of Brawn in a way with his like small size but his really brute nature, it looks like. Just really cool. And then Hardhead is a remold of, I believe, Dinobot. He's alright. The Dinobot mold was never really one of my favorites from Beast Wars, but at least he's got a unique color scheme. Killer Punch, I never really paid attention to this guy, honestly. He was... he's alright. He's kind of like just decent to me. But Mach Kick... Yo, Mach Kick is next level. I know some people rag on him for the kibble and the transformation being super finicky. I agree, but his design, the way they handle the horse mode, how clean it looks with barely any robot kibble hanging off, and the articulation they were able to incorporate with the horse mode, and then the way the robot mode looks with the aesthetic and, you know, the humanoid mixed with the robot and the animal form, it is just so cool to look at and especially to photograph. Rad, I think this guy's name. He's alright. I just didn't really like the big head fish thing with him. He never really was one of my favorites. Saberback, he's cool. He's kind of just decent to me. Never really kind of stood out, but he was cool. Not a bad figure at all. But Sharp Edge, this is from the Cybershark mold, and I think this is also a retool from Beast Wars 2. And then this was used a few more times in the US side of things during the Universe toy line and stuff like that. So this mold has been around a lot. I do really like this Cybershark mold. I believe this is the Cybershark mold, right? Yeah, this is a cool figure. A lot of fun features. The design is really unique and just kind of eye-catching to me. So yeah, I like Sharp Edge. Then we have Mega Class Long Rack, who is fantastic. I love this figure. I have it in my collection. He does get a bit finicky with him. And there's my cat meowing. But Long Rack, his features, the robot mode, the uniqueness in the design is just so cool. Survive is like a repaint retool of Polar Claw. I don't like the Polar Claw mold, even though I think Polar Claw is one of the coolest Beast Wars characters ever, and we need a new version of him at leader class. Please, Hasbro, do it. So Survive, he falls flat to me. I just never really liked the mold of Polar Claw. And then to close it out, we have Ultra Class stuff here. Big Convoy, who this figure is still way better than the upcoming Age of the Prime's leader class. The features, the articulation, the detail, the aesthetic of the robot mode and the mammoth mode. He is just a fun and great figure with his features, the removable matrix, all his hidden weapons and missile launchers, and the big cannon he has. It is just so badass. And then Heinrad, he's cool. I always thought his design was super unique. But I don't know, just something about him I didn't really like click with fully. But at some point I kind of do want to track him down for my collection to kind of complete that Maximal crew from the cartoon. So he's cool. I do think his design is nice, but not as good as Big Convoy. And then lastly, we have the boy Magmatron, who just got a new figure in Legacy, who is way better than this one, in my opinion. That is a great upgrade compared to the original. I can't say the same for Big Convoy. But this figure just really lacks in articulation. It's kind of outdated. They really put forward the features and the combining gimmick a bit more than articulation and overall robot mode aesthetic. But he is still a solid figure. I did used to have this in my collection. He did serve his role for a good time until the new one came out, which is just way better in my opinion, but still a decent figure. But back then he was a really fun and amazing figure. He was also released in Beast Machines, fun fact, here in the US, so we technically also got a Beast Machines representation at Commander Class last year, which some people kind of look over, which is kind of funny. But yeah guys, that about does it for the Beast Wars Neo toy line. A bit small, but a lot of cool stuff in here. Some stuff that's kind of and just decent, but a lot of really fun figures, designs, and animal choices, and color schemes, features, you name it. Like this is just a fun, colorful toy line. But yeah guys, let me know down below which of these figures from the Neo toy line is your favorite. And yeah guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye.